Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, something happened to my mic, so I could not hear anything. So I'm from two different sets now. So which one should I start the video? Maybe this one I will turn off. This one I will talk. My phone. This one. I'll change the. So you can hear me now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm talking over the phone and sync from here. Okay, let's change the background. Okay. So maybe we should start or just wait for some time then.
Yes, ma'am.
While the others join, we will wait for some more children to join. Actually, so one, two. So how are you all in this weather? কেমন আছো সবাই?
Yes, ma'am. We are totally fine. ভালো আছি।
And everyone well? সবারই তো এখন cold and cough, so you're not suffering from anything like that?
No,
All
ma'am.
fine?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
That's good.
it happened. I had some fever, but it's okay now.
Yeah, now it's actually everyone around. I see that they're suffering from cold and cough. And what happened to my computer today? Let's see how many joins, and then we'll start. This is the first program after a while, actually, we are doing. So 10 of us are here. So Suhana and Divyanshi are going to present, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And I actually requested all the older children, even older than you, to talk about the plastic pollution and what are the different grades of plastic pollution. But seems like after their 12th exam, they are very busy with the admission and everything. So they could not actually come forward to show us. But this is something which Pritha ma'am is going to cover a little bit because she is in this area, or she has expertise in this area. So I've requested Pritha ma'am to teach you a little bit about the plastic pollution and everything. So also like I sent like a call for Bikram Saravai Center. They are asking for this Moon Day. Moon Day celebration. So some of you are sending your entries there.
Just watch the show.
You saw that? Did any of you saw that?
Yes, ma'am, I saw it.
Okay. So they have entries for essay and also the logo as well as the poster for on the Monday.
Poster or logo.
So that you can do. That you can send them. It's organized by Vikram Sarabhai Center, Space Research Center. That you can send out. And if you send out, then you can also write in a group that you're participating there. You have participated. That will encourage other children also in this kind of activity, because these are very nice ones. Okay, so maybe we can start. It's already 5:12. Okay, there are 10 of us here. All the others, Adrija and everyone. So, Preeta ma'am, you're muted.
Today we have only few numbers.
Yes, very few in numbers. I think everyone is like enjoying the weather.
Raining outside, so that's why they are enjoying.
Yeah, enjoying Sunday evening or afternoon, I can say. They're sleeping and so on.
And here they are our star kids. That's why they are so interested, and we are so happy for them always.
Right. That's true.
Definitely, we should start.
Maybe we should start. And what I would do in the beginning, before you start talking to the children, I will show them a brief maybe video, and in the meantime, just join, and then we will start the real one. I mean, it's all real, but we will start the discussion or your interaction with the children. So I have
They will give two
chosen.
presentations, right?
Yes, Divyanshi and Suhana. They are always
Yes,
very active.
we are more interested to listen from you.
Yes, true. That's why I was asking them that if you have ideas, if you have something to show, that's the first thing to do. I mean, that's what you should do. A long time we haven't done that, like their presentation,
We will be the
interaction.
change makers. The kids will be the change makers for the society.
Definitely. So I will just start.
We are more interested to listen from you all.
Yeah, I will start with maybe a small kind of a video that will make it.
Hi, Shoma ma'am.
Yeah, Shoma ma'am said that she will not be available so to record it. So, but then I was.
Yeah, it will be helpful also.
Okay, let me see.
Hello.
Tell me.
Ma'am is there.
Hear the sound. And so today we are. Let me start. Actually, it's 5:15 already. So today we are actually celebrating, in that sense, Plastic Free July, because July is a month where the plastic free awareness is there. We also are seeing, like in even in Calcutta bazaars, and if you go to the shops, that everywhere there is a ban in plastic bag now, and it is very strictly applied that you have to bring your own bag or you'll not be able to carry your things, or they are offering you paper bags for a charge, for a nominal charge. So this is something which has started for a long time now, but it seems that we are on the verge of kind of changing the environment. It's very strict rule now. So keeping that vibe in mind, we thought, like in Vijnanika Shakti also, we should discuss this very important fact. And July is a month which has been declared by United Nations as plastic free. It's not only July only, it's all the year through. We will keep this thing in mind, and we will try to minimize as much as plastic products in our day-to-day lives, so that each and everyone, if does that, then that makes a difference in when accumulated together. So this is a very good start. So this year, July is a very good start for that plastic-free world. So as obviously our children are resourceful, they are full with knowledge of many things. So I'm expecting that our children also will come up with many ideas to show us that how you can replace, reuse, recycle plastic products, and wherever the plastic things are there, how you can replace with some kind of environment friendly things that probably we haven't got the idea, we haven't thought about it. So with that in mind, we have our first program in July, and since it's pandemic, it's again kind of spreading very hard. So we thought and because of the monsoon, we thought it would be good to have an online program this time. So July, we will concentrate on the online program again. And when the monsoon subsides, when the corona is a little bit better, then we will again go to the physical programs. So let me start with, as all the children are joining slowly, we are still in less in number. So I will just start with a very short video, which has been shown by United Nations, which has been circulated by United Nations. If you can hear the sound, let me know. Can you hear the sound?
No, ma'am.
You cannot hear the sound? Something happened to my, just a minute, something happened to my actually, if not, I will share the link, so maybe someone else actually can run it. Let me share the link so that any of you can actually run it. My video.
The video.
Yeah, sorry.
Ma'am, can I run the video?
You want to?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, you can. Let me stop sharing. Then I will put this link in the chat. So Arjahi, you can start the video, okay, on behalf of me, because somehow my audio is not working properly today.
Okay, ma'am.
So you open the YouTube video and you can start it.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, were you able to open it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And in the meantime, let me write to the group again so that they can join while you set up your video.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just start to share. Ma'am, will I start to share my screen?
Yes. Start to share your screen with everyone and run with the audio on, okay? So that everyone can hear the sound.
Okay, ma'am. Can you see, ma'am?
I can see your phone, but you have to open the video. Yeah, now it's coming up. Can't hear anything.
Ma'am, will I share? Arjahi needs to do the share sound option.
Yeah, share the sound, Arjahi.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sharing. Can you hear? No.
No, you can't hear anything.
Ma'am, should I share?
Wait, let her try. She can also try. She will, when you're sharing, there is a kind of, you have to tick the share the sound.
Is the wall?
Otherwise, you'll not be.
Is the wall sharing?
You did?
The voice sharing?
Your voices I can hear, but your video sound I cannot hear. It's a very short one, so I wanted to show actually.
Okay, then camera can try.
Ajahi, it's
Okay,
showing
then
share audio off. Yes.
yeah, you do it
Share
on.
audio, that turn on. Yes.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay.
Now turn it on
Thank you.
from the beginning.
Colorful or fire resistant, or unintentionally added
Rotate your
substances such
mobile.
as
Rotate
solvents.
your mobile. Yes, it's okay now.
Because of its versatility, its unique properties, and its relatively cheap price, plastic has become ubiquitous to our everyday life. All plastics are made of chemicals, including polymers, additives to make products stronger, softer, colorful, or fire resistant, or unintentionally added substances such as solvents, cleaning agents, or impurities from manufacturing or recycling. Over 10,000 chemicals have so far been associated with plastics. From these, over 2,400, 1 in 4, are of potential concern to our health and our environment. These include chemicals that can mimic, block, or alter the actions of hormones, reduce fertility, and damage the nervous system, such as heavy metals, phthalates, bisphenol A, biocides, certain flame retardants, UV filters, or per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFASs, also referred to as forever chemicals because they do not break down, can accumulate in our bodies and remain in the environment for generations. Some of these chemicals are listed under the Stockholm Convention as persistent organic pollutants. Harmful chemicals can be released from plastic throughout its entire life cycle. Workers can be exposed during plastic manufacturing. Harmful chemicals can also be released during the use of plastic products or at the end of life, in particular when waste is not properly managed, finding their way to air, water, and soils. Harmful additives can be transported across the globe and released to the environment far from their original point of use. When plastic is recycled, additives can make recycling challenging and limit material circularity by contaminating new materials. If we continue with business as usual, the total amount of plastic ever produced could reach 34 billion tons by 2050. Fragmentation and gaps in legal frameworks must be addressed to cover chemicals along plastics' life cycles. We must close the plastic tap, phase out unnecessary and major additives of concern, promote and develop safe and sustainable alternatives. We must improve waste sorting, collection, and management to increase circularity and ensure harmful substances do not contaminate new products through recycling. Raise awareness on workplace safety and exposure reduction measures. Strengthen governance at all levels and empower communities. Enhance access to information on resins, chemical additives used along the product value chain. Develop more robust methodologies to assess human and environmental exposure. And encourage research to better understand the impacts of chemicals associated with plastics. To protect our health and environment, the global community must act now to support a toxic-free circular economy. Together, we can beat pollution.
You can stop sharing, Ajahi.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that gives us the whole picture of whatever we are going to discuss today. That plastic is very much important in our day-to-day life, starting from brushing our teeth to when we go to bed. We also use plastic cups, and we eat in plastic, sometimes a plastic microwave safe containers as well. So these things tells us that plastic has been in our lives so much that it is difficult to think without plastic. So today we are going to, that's why we want ideas from you. We want to discuss that how this scenario can be minimized so that we can start from our own house, making things which are plastic free. Okay, so with that, I will like to request Pritha ma'am, Dr. Pritha Bhattacharya, who is in this, who is works in this area. She has expertise in this area. She is the head of the Department of the Environmental Science. So obviously, when she is working with the environmental science or environmental topics, so she is very much into this awareness also, that stopping plastic pollution and so on. So she can discuss about, and it will be an interactive presentation, interactive topic again. So feel free to ask questions, so that you, the main idea is to spread awareness, to make you aware of what we are in the situation. So I would like to request Pritha ma'am to start with with her interaction. And I also request the children to take part in the interaction. Don't just listen. If you have questions, ask questions. Okay. So over to Pritha ma'am.
Thank you, Anuja ma'am. Hope I am audible.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And you can see my presentation.
Yes, you are.
Then I have a question.
It's a nice presentation that we have seen just now, and we have seen that in our daily life, from morning to the end of the day, we are using so many things. Just in the left of this panel, you can see that there are so many things. Whenever we go to a shop, so we can see there are so many materials over there, and most of them are in plastic. And say no to plastic should be the option, or we have to go, but how? But is it possible? Or where we should stop, or what we can change? So definitely an action need to be taken, and that should be start from our house. So you can see that whenever we are sitting here and we are just talking all this, it's raining outside. So whenever there is rain, whatever the pollutions we are keeping with the trashes, it can overflow and it's going to the water bodies. So it's not only the land pollution, it's not only the clogging our drains, making the waterlogged cities, it's also going off to the water bodies. And what is happening? You can see this, the dirty things all over that we can see. We have also seen that the animals, they can't differentiate, and with the food, they're also getting this plastic. Last week, when we were in Mumbai, I have just found that a little girl, she was very happy to feed the animals, and what she did, she gave a packet of biscuits to the cow, but she forgot to remove the plastic pack. So she offered a pack of biscuits with the cover. So whether cow will tear it and then eat the biscuit, what do you think?
Packet or packet, so it's not possible.
Yes, it's not possible. So can you see that picture, that there are so many things and the plastics are there, it's trying to get it.
He
So
will
now
think
you
that
can,
the whole packet is the food. So he will eat the whole.
yes, absolutely. The whole packet is food. So if we see the stomach, inside the stomach of this cow, there we can find a number of plastic materials. So as we can see the pain, we can say our parents that it's paining in my abdomen, I can find a pain, but it cannot. They cannot express. They don't have the voice. These voiceless animals, they are getting also this kind of problem. So those who are the veterinary doctors, they often they operate and they save these animals. You can see here, we can see a bird in the right panel, and what we can see inside their stomach. So most of these things are different kind of plastics. So it is a very, very pathetic scene that we can identify a number of plastics for which they are not the cause, but we, the human beings, our misuse our activities. The activities are so wrong that we never think of the consequences. We are eating something, throwing in the dustbin. Maybe we are just throwing it in the dustbin, but from where it will go to the incineration, or it should be collected properly so that it can be processed thereafter. So most of the cases, even if we throw to the garbage, we throw to the bins, because we people are much more aware now regarding these things. We think that these are the basic etiquettes, but after that, if it is not processed properly, if it is not collected properly, then all these can happen, these consequences. You can see also the monkey is trying to get out the food and chewing the plastic. So these are the common pictures in the ocean. In the ocean floor, there are millions of cigarette butts. These are observed. So people, whoever smokes, after the smoking, they throw the rest of the part. So that portion is known as butts. And that cigarette butts also accumulates, and these contain harmful chemicals. You have seen that more than 10 millions of chemicals, different kinds of chemicals are there. There are different quality. They are polyethylene, polystyrene. There are so many things. Styrofoam food containers. Whenever we go to the different hotels or some places, mainly in the roadside shops, so they give us in foams, right? In some containers which are use and throw. We eat and just throw these plastics, throw these food containers. So thermocols, so many thermocols we also use, which are not recyclable. Plastic straw, whenever you have some Tetra packs, it's come in Tetra pack, but it comes along with a straw. That's a plastic straw. Okay, you can find it in the Mazza and all other this Tetra packs. It comes with a straw. So all these are actually accumulating. And during this COVID year, we all are using masks, gloves, and the headgears, and so many PPEs, that is personal protective equipments. In these also, there are layers of plastics. So again, so it's very important that in our daily life, in our different purpose, plastics are used. But we have to be careful that how we are throwing this, and it should not be a single-use plastic. So you can see that we can see this difference in their size. Whatever they're thrown in the water bodies, different size and shapes. But in the aquatic animals, they cannot differentiate its size, shape. They can assume that it's just like a jellyfish. You can see a jellyfish over there, so it can grab it as its food. Even there, if you know that there are sharks and whales, they are basically the zooplankton eaters. So the small microscopic organisms they feed. They are filter feeders. They open their mouth in a big way, and the things, whatever the materials, food materials are there, it just swapped into them. So it comes in their stomach. So all these different kind of gadgets, they are accumulating. That I have just recently, I just told you regarding the gloves and the cigarette butts. All these are toxic chemicals to which these animals are exposed. Often they are entangled in these plastic nets. Often they are consuming. So we cannot think of this kind of deadly consequences. So it's showing that in each year, about 5% debris are much more increasing. So although there are a lot of awareness throughout the academic students or those who are aware, but still these kind of activities are constantly going on. So do you know about great garbage patches? Have you heard the term? Have you heard the term? Great garbage patches? In the Pacific Ocean, we can find that is a plastic waste are accumulated. It just making a huge plastic waste are accumulated. This is known as great garbage patches. So even whenever these plastics, they are staying in this marine environment or even in the land format, after the solar radiation, it degrades into smaller and smaller particles. They are known as microplastics and nanoplastics, depending on its size. Okay, so they are very, very persistent chemical. They are very, very persistent in nature, and they do not degrade. That's why it's known as non-biodegradable materials. And due to its persistence in nature, even they are getting in smaller shape. Whatever we find in a macro size, we can see the plastics. But whenever it's degraded, it comes in the macroplastic or in the nanoplastics forms. These are also present in different kind of beads. In the deep cleans we use in the different cosmetic products for our face wash, you can see in the pictures, apricot shells, cocoa beans. There are also a number of micro beads. They're plastics in nature, and it's coming. Recent study says that even whatever the drinking water we are just drinking, in that filter also, it cannot prevent these nanoparticles, nanoplastics. So it's a very, very alarming news that even in our blood samples, we can get these nanoplastics and microplastics. Just to assume the picture that we have seen in my earlier lecture, that a cow in its stomach, we can see so many of plastics. So all these plastic materials are with toxic products, toxic materials. So the milk that we are having from this cow or the flesh that we are eating, maybe in different forms, either goat or hen. So it is also toxic. That is also coming to us. So until and unless we use very strict policies, not only the policies, we are not aware and we do not change the things in our daily lifestyle, there will be this kind of fate will be increasing. The research study says that by 2030, the risk of cancer is increasing 1 in 4 members. So just imagine, there are 4 members. If there are 4 members in our home, there's a risk at least 1 will have such bad consequences, come up with so fatal diseases. Why? Because our risk of exposure from different things is going to a very great height. So what we can do, some of the things that wherever possible we can use, that it's not plastic, if we can use. Definitely, if we are going to any marketplace, we should carry a cotton tholi or a jute bag or whatever the alternatives that we can take, that we can use. Natural fabrics if we could use, and the packaging, which we should not use something use and throw, that our using pattern should be changed. We have to, just showing one thing, recycle. We have to use such materials which could be recycled. We could reuse. We have to reduce our demands. Until and unless we reduce the need, the things will be increasing. We can reduce our demand. So at a personal level, we can be much more sustainable, repurpose. We should never think of single use and throw. We should not use a single use plastic. Should not be encouraged, so that we can use it repurpose. And definitely rethink. We have to rethink before a thing we are purchasing or we are just throwing it. So we have to be some sensible person. Just, we can see here the recycle items, and in the right panel you can see that the sorting of the materials: glass material, plastic material, organic, metal, paper, batteries, these are e-waste, all these different kind of things. Yes,
What is organic?
what are organic?
Yes, ma'am.
Organic means like you are eating a fruit and you are throwing its peel. That is an organic material, which could be decomposed, which could be biodegradable, any biological material that is organic in nature.
Okay.
So if we mix this material, then it cannot be reused properly, or it could not be recycled properly. So for proper recycling, better is the sorting. If we can throw the things in different buckets, and it could be collected and processed thereafter separately. So these are the things I hope we all, including myself, we all need to think again and again before whatever we are buying, and how we can reduce this plastic related materials as less as could be done. And the plastic materials only beyond 75 microns, those are permittable right now, because that can be recyclable. Not all plastic materials could be recycled, and those materials we should not use, because they will create more and more problem to our environment. That's all from my end.
Thank
And
you.
never use the microwave in the plastic, whatever you are bringing in your tiffin box, or even if it's saying that is a microwave safe. So please avoid, because whenever we are boiling the things, another thing I must mention, that nowadays we order so many things from Swiggy and such online orders, and which bring the food in, hot food in the plastic container. So these are our daily use, and which we are increasingly we are using this. So two harmful things due to such activity, which we have to stop, we have to prevent. Because one is the food is coming in the plastic material, so that is, you are just going to throw it. And the second is due to it's hot and it's reacting with the plastic, so it's emitting some harmful chemicals, including BPA, and it causes a lot of reproductive problems. So we must avoid boiling or hot things consuming in plastic material. So less Swiggy or such orders which come in this kind of plastics. Okay.
Thank you, Pritha ma'am. Any questions from the children? Like Audrija asked, what is organic? So organic is something also, what Pritha ma'am explained, is something which is perishable. Like when you keep outside, you can see that it is perishing, means it's getting wasted very easily. One slide what Pritha ma'am actually showed, I wanted to kind of mention that, but I didn't interrupt Pritha ma'am, is like you see that one bird has died because of consuming a lot of plastic, and we could not see the bird, we could see the bird perishing. I mean, it's getting its diet, so its body parts are getting degrading or something, but you see the plastics inside, they are not degrading. So that's the main message here. So the body parts, of course, of the bird is organic. So it is degrading, it is getting mixed with the soil, and in that sense, no harm is being done to the soil. But when this plastics, which is remaining in the soil, buried like that for hundreds of years and becoming microplastics and nanoplastics, that still remains the chemical that we have already seen in that short video. There's those chemicals which are not made by the earth. So that has never been a part of the earth soil. But we are putting those chemicals inside those earth, inside our soil. We are just increasing the chemical amount of the chemical in the soil because of this plastics that we are using. So it's high time that we have to act on that, and everyone, if thinks about it, everyone recycles, everyone avoids to use plastics in their day-to-day lives. I mean, when we started, if you talk to your grandmother, grandparents, they actually didn't know the use of plastic. They used metal, then natural fiber, jute, then beter jinishpatro, what we used, like used of can and so on. But now we can't really think about plastic. Maybe we should revisit what our ancestors used to use, and that will give us idea what we should also look forward to. Like if we want to replace plastic in our lives, what are the things that we have to think to replace with? So that will be a good idea to start from our ancestors, to get ideas from our ancestors who didn't know the use of plastic, but they also used to use many things. So we should actually revisit our ancestors, we revisit our past and see that what we can use and recycle with. And one good thing is that, and that's the reason why this plastic thing is, or plastic ban is so much active now, because on March 2nd this year, UN Government Environment Assembly has happened in Nairobi, and where an act, an anti-pollution, anti-plastic pollution agreement has been signed, which is a historic moment for stopping plastic pollution in the world. And it was supported by all the countries in the world, and all the countries in the world have vowed to abide by the rules which has been set in that agreement. So that is the reason why all the countries have now started very seriously on stopping the plastic pollution. We can see in even Calcutta also, we go to different places, plastic is banned completely now, which is a big thing. So by 2024, the agreement is that by 2024, we should use only the reusable things. The plastic should be banned from everything. So I just wanted to show that short video, and I've shared it with Dimira, who can show that, because my audio is not working. That historic moment by the ministers of environment and representatives of UN, where this historical agreement, plastic pollution agreement, has been signed. So this is a historical moment for UN and for all the countries also, and has been done on March 2nd. So Dimira, you can show that, because this is for your information as well, because this is something what you will be probably asked, and this is something you should know, that this has been signed very recently. So Dimira, can you show that?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure. We are actually want to answer your questions. So please ask questions. But let's see the video first and then ask the questions.
Ma'am, should I start it?
Yes, you should.
See no objections. It is so decided.
So today was one for the history books. It was truly a big day for the environment. There were high emotions when that gavel came down. What there is now clarity on is that we will have a strong global, international and comprehensive framework on plastic pollution. We produce around 400 million tons of plastic every year, and 300 million tons of that goes right into the waste dump, and 11 million tons of that into our oceans.
We need collective action to develop viable and sustainable substitute for plastics.
And it will make a difference. One that shows again the true value of multilateralism.
The fact that member states put up their hand and said, we will resolve this, is major. But now is the time to roll up our sleeves because the world is watching.
Stop it, Dimira. So that was signed on March 2nd, 2022. And you should keep in mind that from this year, it is a very big program. So by 2024, we should have no plastic movement for all the countries. So this is something we should start from our home also. So that is the reason why we wanted to organize this event or this program also, to make you aware that this has started very seriously all over the world, and we should also do our part. Okay. So now actually we have 2 children who voluntarily said that they want to present on this plastic pollution, how to stop, and on different aspects of it. So one is Divyanshi Das and Suhana. So I would like to request Divyanshi first, and to start with your presentation, whatever you have to share with us. And Dhanishta, you had one question before I start with you, Divyanshi. Dhanishta, you had a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what is your question?
And what is foil?
What is soil?
No, ma'am. What is foil?
Can't actually hear you properly. Can you write down in the chat what?
Ma'am, she is saying FOIL, foil.
What is foil?
Yes, ma'am.
Foil is something which is, what kind of foil? So there are different kind of foils. Foil is something which is very thin, that normally is like a big kind of sheet or a paper, and we wrap things with that, or we use it for different kind of different places where you need to cover it with something. For example, if there is a metal foil, means like we sometimes use aluminum foil for baking or heating or wrapping food. We use plastic foils to wrap things. You also use foils like wrappers for wrapping the gifts. So that is also kind of a foil. So foil is something which is very thin and is flexible, so that you can wrap things with it, or make a cover on top of it, or keep it somewhere where you have to kind of cover it or heat it somewhere. Do you get the answer?
Yes.
Is it clear to you?
Foil is harmful.
So what foil, depending on what kind of foil, plastic foil is definitely harmful because it is made up of very thin plastics. And depending on what grade of plastic it is, single-use plastic foils are definitely harmful. And as Preeta ma'am said, that you should not use plastics for any food or when it comes with wrapping things or something which we used to eat. So that is harmful because those chemicals in the plastics, we don't know how it reacts with the food. So it can give us a lot of bad, like it can make our body organs, lot of bad things, bad chemicals. So that way it is harmful. But for baking, for heating, sometimes we use aluminum foil. So that is made up of thin aluminum metal. So that is not that harmful as of now. But of course, anything which we don't recycle, it goes to the garbage and then goes to the soil. So that way it is harmful. It is harmful not to human only, for to the animals also, because they eat the small parts of it, which they should not eat.
Okay, ma'am.
It is clear, Bhanishta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Which class are you in?
5.
You're in class 5. Wow. Which school?
Sri Shiksha School.
Okay, okay. Very good. Thank you for asking questions. So please ask questions, whatever you have to ask. No question is dumb question. So if you don't know anything, definitely you should ask anything to us, because that's what we are for. This is not a class. This is just for a discussion. Okay. So Divyanshi, you want to present? And Dimira asked me that when we are going to show the plastic craft. So if any of you want to show some plastic crafts for recycling things, for using different kind of things, so please show us how we can reuse plastic, how we can use alternative things of plastic for different things. If you have ideas, we can discuss. That's what we are for today.
And how?
Yes, who is asking?
I'm Adrija.
Yes, Adrija.
And how to save the environment other than just planting trees?
How to save the environment? So by well, that Pritha ma'am can actually answer very clearly, but there are different ways of saving environment. Every bit actually counts. If you are not, let's say like for this plastics also, if you are not using plastic, if you are avoiding using something which cannot be recycled, that doesn't go and mix in the soil, and that way we are saving the soil also, we are saving the earth, because soil, air, water, everything is part of your environment. So just planting trees is not environment, but whatever you are doing, that makes a difference. Recycling is also something, that way we can save the environment.
Excuse me, miss. Miss, I'm Ishani, miss. I have made something, means I have reused the plastic bottle and made the vase. May I show you?
Yes, we can. Actually, first let's finish with Divyanshi and Suhana wants to teach us something.
Yes.
So let's listen to them, and then we will see the crafts, and we will kind of discuss that. Is fine, Ishani?
Yes, miss.
Okay, thank you. So Divyanshi, please start.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I am Divyanshi Das. I read in class 7. I'm from Vipnet International, and today I'm going to speak about plastic-free July. Effects of plastic pollution. Plastic pollution has become one of the most pressing environmental issues, as rapidly increasing production of disposable plastic products overwhelms the world's ability to deal with them. Plastic pollution is most visible in developing Asian and African nations, where garbage collection systems are often inefficient or non-existent, but the developed world, especially in countries with low recycling rates, also has trouble properly collecting discarded plastics. Plastic trash has become so ubiquitous that it has promoted efforts to write a global treaty negotiated by the United Nations. Causes of plastic pollution. We create large amounts of waste, mismanaged plastic disposal, overuse of plastic, decomposition time, nature spreads pollution. Unfortunately, the wind, rivers, and ocean can all spread pollution naturally due to the commonly lightweight nature of plastics. How to reduce the use of plastic products? Carry a reusable bottle, say no to plastic straws, avoid excessive food packaging, carry a shopping bag like jute or paper bags, and many more. Reusing plastic. making a plant holder with the help of a plastic bottle, making home decor items with the help of plastic products. Instead of using plastic bags, we can use jute and paper bags. We can reuse the plastic containers. What are the 3 R's of the environment? The 3 R's stands for reduce, reuse, and recycle. This rule is part of the waste hierarchy, which is a process used to protect the environment and conserve resources through a priority approach. The aim is to get the most practical benefits from products and to generate the minimum amount of waste. 3 R's of the environment. Reduce. The first R in the waste hierarchy is reduce. The crucial thing in the waste management procedure is to maintain a perfect balance in consumption and recycle and reuse. If the consumption is less, the rate of recycling or reuse will also be less. Reuse. The reuse of old stuff can reduce waste and does not affect the waste hierarchy. If you do not have any use of these thrown away items, then you can also donate it to the some people who needs them. Recycling. Recycling is the third stage of the waste management process. Recycling is a process in which the dumping items are transformed into a new item. You can also send your unused items to the recycling centers. It is vital that you are well aware of the things that can be recycled. Thank you.
Thank you, Divyanshi. Any questions from on Divyanshi's presentation? Anything that you didn't understand, you can ask her. She will explain.
Miss, can you please tell the meaning of hierarchy once?
Sorry, who is speaking?
Miss,
Ishani, is it? Tell your name because your name is there, not there.
Ishani.
Ishani. So what you asked?
Can you please explain the meaning of hierarchy once?
Hierarchy means the way, the order of the system that we put, or like the recycle and reuse and everything, the order we put them. And we can't send all the things for recycling, like some things like the shampoo bottles can't be used in some places, so we can give them for recycling. So there are some products that can be recycled and some which can't be. So according to the order or the hierarchy, we have to send them. Or the ones who dispose them, they will send according to that. So that is the meaning of it.
Thank you so much. I understood.
Welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to ask questions?
Yes,
On
this presentation, what Divyanshi did?
a teacher, and I would say how to know the things that these are the waste of the reduce
I can't hear you.
Who is the Adrija?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can't hear you. Sorry.
Yes.
Can you repeat?
How to know the things that are the waste of recycle, reduce, and reuse?
What is the meaning of recycle and reduce?
No, ma'am. How can we know the things that the waste of reduce, reuse, and recycle?
Again?
How can we understand the things are the waste of reduce, reuse, and recycle?
Okay, so the things you can reuse are like some of the things like you can reuse your bottles. You can understand on the basic facts, like if you can reuse them, it's according to you what are the products you can reuse. Like the plastic products can be reused, but some of the plastic products can't be reused because they have some chemicals in them. And for that, there is like the pH level and everything given at the back of the shampoo bottles, any of the bottles you see. So according to that, I think you have to see which you can reuse and reduce. Other things you can reduce, like if there are containers in your house, you can reduce, like instead of buying more containers, you can use the older ones. in place of those. So there are many.
Drija, have you ever bring tomato ketchup or tomato sauce bottles in your house?
Yes, ma'am.
So once used, then what you can do with that?
I can reuse
Yes.
them. And I can reuse them.
Yes, you can put water in that. So instead of keeping water in a plastic bottle, we can keep water in that glass bottle. So that is the reuse. Okay. So reuse, you are using it for a different purpose. So that is basically the repurpose of the thing. And reduce means you have, suppose you have 3 pencil bags, the plastic pencil pouch that we have, we don't need it, but we have so many things we want. Okay, we need another one, so we can reduce our need, because until and unless we need it, we have to rethink, we have to again think that should I ask my mama, should I ask my papa that give me another one. So you have to think that whether I need it. So whenever we will reduce our want, then we can minimize a certain problem. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Anyone else have any questions? If not, so thank you, Divyanshi. That was really good, because that's what we wanted to do. Like higher class children, when they present the lower class ones, they have a lot of questions because they don't understand all those terms. So if you can clear
Ask
those
here
out,
freely.
yes, then
That
it's a
should
really good
be
interactive one.
very good interaction.
Thank you, Divyanshi.
Thank
So
you.
I now like to request Suhana. Suhana is the second presenter today. Suhana, you introduce yourself and then you start your presentation, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Hello everyone, myself Swana Saha and I am from BDMI and I read in class 7. And today I will be presenting a PPT on plastic free July. Let me start presenting. Please let me know if you can see it or not. Is it presented?
Yes, we can see your presentation. You make it full screen.
Okay. Ma'am, is it okay now?
It's not full screen, but what you can do if you cannot, because it's an older version of your PPT, that's why it's not full screen. What you can do is like you can scroll down your slides from the left. That way, this second slide will come, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
You start.
And actually here it's showing full screen, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I know. This problem actually remains in the older version of PowerPoint. Don't worry about it. We can see your screen. Yes, when you go down, your screen will change. Okay, so don't worry about it. You go from the beginning, you start.
Okay, ma'am. Plastic free July. Be the part of solution. What is free plastic July? Plastic free July provides resources and ideas to help us and millions of others around the world reduce single-use plastic waste every day at home, work, school, and even at our local cafe. For knowing more about this topic, watch the video in next slide. And actually, I want to present a video and so
the video will not come unless you click it. So why you don't? Yes. No, we cannot see the video. So what you have to do, what you can do is like you scroll over your slides, you explain, and then if you have a video resource from somewhere, you start the video separately, okay?
Okay, ma'am. These are 9 ways to reduce our plastic use. Number 1, carry a reusable bottle. Number 2, say no to plastic straws. Number 3, take a reusable coffee cup. Number 4, avoid expensive food packaging. Number 5, use refill station for detergents. Number 6, carry a bag from home for shopping made of cloth or jute or any other type. Thank you. And now can I present the video because the video is the main one?
Yes, you can.
In the presentation, there was only 6 ways to reduce the plastic and not the 9 ways.
Ma'am, can you see it?
No. I mean, I can see a something, but it's a picture, not a video.
Is it coming like topic awareness to stop using plastic bags?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, it's a video. Yes, ma'am, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Suhana. Any question if you have from Suhana, Suhana will be able to ask answers. Sorry. If you have any questions from Suhana, any of you have any doubt or any question from Suhana's presentation?
I was not able to answer.
Yes, Adrija.
Ma'am, I was not able to understand.
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I can understand what does mean the plastic-free July.
Okay, so Suhana is here to answer.
Plastic-free July means it was first invented by Rebecca, and she was an Australian, and she started a plastic-free July. It's a term used for basically for giving ideas to reuse and recycle the plastics and stop using the plastic is the main target for this plastic free July, and July month has been chosen for it.
Okay, so Adrija, are you happy with the answer?
Yes.
Okay. So and one thing is like Adrija was asking what kind of different plastics are there and how do you know which one to recycle, which one not to. So there is a lot of definitely depending on the composition, what are the chemical components of your plastics are. You have already seen that these plastics are polymers. Polymers are mainly different kind of chemicals, long chains of chemicals, which do not actually degrade. That's the reason why it is very sturdy and why we use it. And there are different grades of this plastics or polymers, and that grade tells you which one to recycle and which one you can't recycle. So there is a guide to it, a short video actually. So Dimira, you can share that. So a short video is there, which we can judge to see that. So when you see a plastic bottle, you see at the back of it, you can see these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So that tells you what is the composition of the plastics and whether you can recycle that plastics or not. So this grade 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way you'll know that whatever you have got, a shampoo bottle or a plastic mug, whether that is recyclable or not. And we can choose according to that. We can see the bottle, we can see the number, we can choose according to that whether we are going to buy it or not. Okay, because if you cannot recycle it, then you should not buy it. So the American start.
Different types of plastics and their classifications. Those little triangles molded into the bottom of plastic items are called SPI codes. There are 7 in total and are designed to help us recycle and dispose of each different type of plastic. SPI code 1 indicates products made from polyethylene terephthalate. PET plastic is used to make many common household items like beverage bottles and peanut butter jars, and makes up about 96% of all the plastic bottles and containers in the United States. SPI code 2 identifies plastic made with high-density polyethylene. HDPE products are very safe and can withstand extreme heat or cold, making HDPE perfect for milk cartons, shampoos, and detergents. SPI code 3 is made with polyvinyl chloride, or PVC. PVC can be harmful if ingested. It is not recycled often and most commonly found in plumbing pipes. SPI code 4. Items made from low-density polyethylene are safe for food storage and tend to be durable and flexible. LDPE is used to make plastic wrap, sandwich bags, and squeezable bottles. SPI code 5. Plastic items made with polypropylene. This type of plastic is used to make syrup bottles, plastic diapers, and prescription bottles. When recycled, polypropylene is used to make ice scrapers, rakes, and other durable items. SPI code 6 is polystyrene, more commonly known as styrofoam. Polystyrene cannot be recycled efficiently. Therefore, items like disposable coffee cups, plastic cutlery, and packing peanuts can be harmful to the environment. In fact, this material accounts for about 35% of U.S. landfill materials. SPI code 7 is used to designate miscellaneous types of plastic that are not defined by the other 6 codes. Plastic DVDs, baby bottles, and medical storage containers are often SPI 7. And there you have it. The next time you flip over a milk jug or a bottle of water, you'll be an expert. To find out more about the plastic products you use every day and what great things they can be recycled into, check out the full Promo University lesson.
So you can stop it now, Dimira. So it's number 1 to 7. Actually, it is made up, this video is made in USA. That's the reason why it was saying that 65% consumption is in US. But it is not only in US, but it's all over the world. It's the same scenario. But the number 1 to 7 is defined according to its chemical structure and whether you can recycle or not. The lesser you go to the grade, maybe 7, and there are 6, starting from 6 and 7, it becomes more or less recyclable. So that plastic foil or something is that you should not actually, or styrofoam, as you have seen, that is also made up of plastic, and that you should not throw outside because that cannot be recyclable. So when we buy things, check at the back of your bottle that if it's 1, 2, 3. So starting from 1, if it gets recycled, then it gets to 3 or 4. Then slowly, its number degrades. Then it goes to the category when you cannot recycle it anymore. So when you start doing it or start recycling it, you can definitely see that if you're throwing something, the PET bottles or something, what kind of grade it is. If it's lowest grade, if it cannot be recycled, if you throw it, if it will not be recycled, it will definitely go into the dump yard. And that will be dumped there forever until like it degrades by itself. So that will tell you how to recycle and what to recycle. Okay, so any more questions from Pritha ma'am? Or regarding this plastic thing for any of you?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Adrija.
Ma'am, why does plastics have chemicals on it?
Why this?
Why does plastic have chemicals in it?
Oh, plastics are made up of what is we call chemically is like polymer. Let's say when you have like a jute bag, right? It is made up of pulp from the tree, or your paper is made up of pulp from the wood. So it also has one chemical which is called a cellulose. So similarly, plastic is a substance or is a material which is made up of what we call as polymer. And this polymer is chemical, is a big chain of chemical that has carbon, that has hydrogen, that has nitrogen, that has sulfur in it. So when you grow up more, you will know that all organic polymers, they are sturdy enough to make it like a flexible kind of a substance or material, and we use that for making plastic. So plastic has chemicals because it is made up of chemicals. Actually, it is made up of those polymers. Okay. So the thing is, every material is made up of something, right? So when you are using what you can say, your dress material, you can hear that it is made up of cotton, or it is synthetic. Maybe something is made up of nylon or something. So nylon, for example, is a polymer. Cotton is made up of fabric, which is a natural fabric, which is made up of cotton wool or cotton flower, or threads made up from there, or silk, which are very degradable. But let's say nylon is non-degradable in that sense, because it is again made up of one chemical substance which is called polymers. And polymers are essentially non-biodegradable, means they do not degrade, they do not perish, they stay in the same way. It stays like when you make it, and after that 50 years, 100 years goes by, it doesn't really change its form, doesn't really degrades, doesn't perish, doesn't destroy, so it remains in the same way. In that sense, it is very sturdy, it is very robust, it is very strong, but since it's not degradable, so you cannot recycle it. That is the problem. When you recycle something, you make a pulp of it. It becomes a pulp, and then you make another thing out of that pulp. So, Dimira, you had a question?
Is there any way to make a chemical-free plastic, like another material?
Chemicals are everywhere. Plastics are made up of polymers, so plastic will remain will still be made up of polymers. But now scientists are trying to do biodegradable polymers. So these are polymers which
they're made up of from starch, cellulose. You're making some potato peels. They are also trying to make some plastics, that is, which could be why we are using plastics, or why plastics are so useful, because that ma'am has told you it's very sturdy. We can use it in many places. It does not shrink in water. It's water protective. So it has definitely some positive features. That's why it is so more useful. But until and unless it has been using after some decades, we can understand that what are the difficulties, or where are the limitations, but why are the challenges. So now we understand that it has to be altered. Otherwise, its negative effects are more. So single-use plastics, that's why we are telling that single-use plastics use has to be stopped. We have to be aware that ma'am has explained you by the video that what are the grades, which could be recyclable, which are recyclable, that could be used, but which are non-recyclable, we should not use. So organic more, which are organic, that kind of alternatives we have to shift for. So still, so far, biodegradable plastic or recyclable plastic are not in demand that much. So that's why they are still, we do not get as frequently as we get in the plastics. just you think that that we are going to the market to buy some fish, we will get it in a plastic. We are going to buy some flowers, they will give us a plastic. But now we should be some aware citizen. So we should say that no more plastic. Whatever the things that we can bring, we should carry some থলি। নর্মালি আগে বাজারের থলিতে নিয়ে যাওয়া হতো, তাই তো? ছোট ছোট সুন্দর সুন্দর প্যাকেট, কাপড়ের ব্যাগ আমরা তৈরি করতে পারি, সেগুলোতে আমরা জিনিসপত্র ক্যারি করতে পারি। আমাদের ব্যাগে সবসময় একটা ওই রকম একটা ব্যাগ রেখে দিলাম, যখন কিছু আমরা কিনবো তাতে আমরা জিনিসটা কিনে চলে আসলাম, যাতে আমাদের আননেসেসারিলি প্লাস্টিক দোকান থেকে কিনে আনতে না হয়। আমরা বড় বড় শপিং মার্কেটে গেলেও অনেক সময় কি হয় দেখবে, আমাদেরকে পয়সা দিতে হয়, বললো যে whether you have bringing any bag, no, then you have to pay charges. Even if we pay charges, the thing is not solving. So now we have to be much more aware. অনেক সময় দেখবে পাশের বাড়ির দোকানে আমরা কিছু জিনিস কিনতে গেলাম, দুটো বিস্কিট কিনলাম, কয়েকটা জিনিস কিনলাম, সেগুলো আমরা প্লাস্টিকে নিয়ে চলে আসলাম। এক তো ওই বিস্কিট গুলোর সঙ্গে র্যাপার রয়েছে, সবকিছু আমরা হয়তো এই মুহূর্তে বসে আজকে চেঞ্জ করতে পারবো না, তাই না? আমরা ছোট বিস্কিটের প্যাকেট কিনি, কিন্তু কি করতে পারবো? আমরা ছোট বিস্কিটের প্যাকেট না কিনে একটা বড় বিস্কিটের প্যাকেট কিনলাম, তাতে অন্তত প্লাস্টিকটা কম হবে, অনেক দিন সেটা চলবে। আমাদেরকে ভাবতে হবে কিভাবে আমরা সাস্টেনেবলি বাঁচতে পারি। সো একটা জিনিস করা যায়, সবাইকে ছোটদেরকেও বলবো, এটা আমাদের জন্য, বড়দের জন্য, যে আমাদের ডেলি ওয়েস্টেজ কি হচ্ছে। মানে আমার বাড়িতে যে বিনটা রয়েছে, সেই বিনটাতে কখনোই প্লাস্টিক আর অর্গানিক মেটেরিয়াল একসঙ্গে ফেলবো না। মানে ধরো কিচেন ওয়েস্ট যা তৈরি হয়, সেই কিচেন ওয়েস্ট গুলো হচ্ছে ডিগ্রেডেবল। আমরা বললাম এতক্ষণ ধরে যেগুলো পেরিশেবল সেগুলো হচ্ছে অর্গানিক, অর্থাৎ সেগুলো যখন ডাস্টবিনে, বাইরের ডাস্টবিনে যাবে তখন মাটির সাথে মিশে যাবে। যেমন ধরো মারা রান্না করলেন, সবজির যে পিলগুলো, হ্যাঁ, আলুর খোসা ফেললাম, পটলের খোসা ফেললাম, এই যে যত রান্না বান্না করা হচ্ছে, তাহলে সেইগুলো আমরা একটা বিনে ফেললাম। সো ওয়েস্ট বা তার সঙ্গে অর্গানিক ওয়েস্ট। আর কি রকম, আমরা বিস্কিট খেলাম, বিস্কিটের র্যাপার, চকলেট খেলাম, চকলেটের র্যাপার, অল দিস আর প্লাস্টিক্স, যেগুলো ডেলি ইউজ হচ্ছে, সেইগুলোকে অন্য বিনে ফেলবো। হ্যাঁ, এবং ধরো আমরা রাখতে পারি এরকম একটা জার রাখলাম, আমি বললাম যে আমার এই জারটার সাইজ অনুসারে নির্ভর করে যে আমার 2 উইকস এর আগে আমার এই জারটা কমপ্লিট হবে না, তাহলে ইন দিস ওয়ে ইউ ক্যান রেস্ট্রিক্ট ইয়োরসেলফ। মানে কি, আমার জারটা যত তাড়াতাড়ি আমার র্যাপারে কভার হয়ে যাবে, মানে আমি আজকে একটা লেস খেলাম, এত বড় প্যাকেট ভর্তি হয়ে গেল, তাহলে আমার ওই বিনটা তাড়াতাড়ি ভরে যাবে, আমাকে ফেলতে হবে। তাহলে আমি নিজেকে রেস্ট্রিক্ট করব কি করে? আমি প্রথম টার্গেট করব যে আমার 1 উইকে বিনটা ভরবে না। তারপরের বার যখন আমি আরেকটু সচেতন হলাম, সো নাও মাই টার্গেট ইজ 2 উইকসেও আমার বিনটা ভরবে না। তাহলে আমি নিজেকে লিমিট করতে পারবো আমার অ্যাক্টিভিটি। কিভাবে আমি লিমিট করলাম, তাহলে তাতেই দেখবো যে আমি কিন্তু আমার বাইরের চিপস খাওয়াটা কমাতে পারলাম। যে প্লাস্টিক গুলো ইউজ করার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে বড় বড় প্লাস্টিক ওয়েস্ট গুলো হচ্ছে, বিস্কিটের প্লাস্টিক ওয়েস্ট, তাহলে আমি রিডিউস করতে পারলাম। কিরকম বিস্কিট কিনলাম, বড় বিস্কিট কিনলাম, বাড়িতে এসে কন্টেনারে রাখলাম, সেই কন্টেনারটা শেষ হবে, দেন অনলি আই উইল বাই। সো আই ক্যান রিডিউস মাই ওয়ান্ট অ্যাজ ওয়েল। যতক্ষণ না শেষ হলো সেটা আমি ইউজ করলাম না। আমি টিফিন বক্সে বিস্কিট নিয়ে গেলাম, তাহলে আমি আবার রিফিল করব শেষ হয়ে গেলে। তাহলে আমাকে আমার বাড়ি থেকে স্টার্ট করতে হবে যে কিভাবে আমি চেঞ্জ করতে পারি। তাহলে আমি টেট্রা প্যাক ইউজ করলাম, আমি ধরো একটা মাজার প্যাকেট কিনলাম, মাজাটা টেট্রা প্যাক, তার সঙ্গে একটা স্ট্র রয়েছে, স্ট্রটা রাস্তায় ফেলে দিলাম না, আমি চেষ্টা করব না ফেলে দিয়ে অ্যাটলিস্ট সেটা দিয়ে কিছু রেনোভেট করলাম বাড়িতে, যাতে সেটা থ্রো না করা যায়। বা না কিনলাম যে জিনিসগুলো, যেমন ধরো এই যে আমি বাইরের খাবারের প্যাকেট বললাম, তার সঙ্গে দেখবে চামচ আসে, প্লাস্টিকের চামচ আসে, বা এখনো আমরা কোথাও গেলে চেষ্টা করি যে ছোট জলের বোতল কিনে নিলাম, না করে আমি জলটাকে রিফিল করব। বা কোনো প্রোগ্রাম গুলোতে আমরা এখনো ছোট জলের বোতল, অনেক সময় বিসলেরিজ বোতল বা এই ধরনের অ্যাকোয়াফিন বোতল আমরা দিই। চেষ্টা করতে হবে উই হ্যাভ টু চেঞ্জ দিস, আদারওয়াইজ বলে তো লাভ হচ্ছে না, আমরা বলছি কিন্তু আমরা করে উঠতে পারছি না। আমাদের থিওরিটিক্যাল নলেজ অ্যান্ড ইমপ্লিমেন্টেশনের মধ্যে আমাদের অনেকটা তফাৎ থেকে যাচ্ছে। অনেক জায়গায় আমরা এমন ভাবে ইউজ টু হয়ে গেছি, আমরা করতে পারছি না। কিন্তু চেষ্টা করব একটা একটা করেও কতগুলো জিনিস থেকে যাতে আমরা চেঞ্জ করতে পারি। তাহলে আমরা পরের বার কোনো একটা প্যাকেটে আমরা দেখবে র্যাপার, গিফট র্যাপার দেবো না, বা কোনো আমরা গিফট র্যাপার পেলাম, সেই গিফট র্যাপারটাকে তুমি যত্ন করে রাখবে, যাতে তুমি গিফট র্যাপারটা রিইউজ করতে পারো। দ্যাট ইজ এগেইন প্লাস্টিক। এখন দেখবে রাস্তার দোকানে চা কিন্তু কেউ প্লাস্টিক কাপে খায় না, হ্যাঁ, পেপার প্যাকে খায়, কিন্তু তার মধ্যেও একটা প্লাস্টিক লেয়ার থাকে। সো যদি পসিবল হয় উই শুড ক্যারি আওয়ার একটা কাপ ক্যারি করলাম, যে কাপগুলোতে দেখবে ঢাকনা দেওয়া থাকে, সো দ্যাট উই ক্যান ইউজ। জলের বোতল অবশ্যই ইউজ করা, টিফিন বক্স ইউজ করা, যেগুলোতে ইউজ অ্যান্ড থ্রো। আমাদের ডেইলি লাইফে শুধু ছোট নয়, আমরা বড়রা সবাই এরকম বিভিন্ন রকম অভ্যেসের বশবর্তী রয়েছে, যে কারণে সেই লাইফস্টাইল গুলো আমরা এখনো চেঞ্জ করতে পারছি না। উই অল নিড টু ডু সার্টেন চেঞ্জেস। একদিনে কিন্তু সমস্ত চেঞ্জ আমরা করতে পারবো না, কোনো লস, কোনো রেগুলেশনস দিয়েই কিন্তু সেটা হবে না, আনটিল অ্যান্ড আনলেস উই ক্যান ডু ইট ফ্রম আওয়ারসেলফ। আমাদের নিজেদেরকে প্রত্যেকদিন বলতে হবে যে আজকে আমি অন্তত কোন হ্যাবিটটা চেঞ্জ করতে পারলাম। আর ওই জারটা সব থেকে ভালো কনসেপ্ট, তুমি নিজের জন্য একটা জার রাখবে আর দেখবে কতদিনে রিফিল হচ্ছে, এবং টার্গেটটা গ্র্যাজুয়ালি বাড়াবে। আমরা 1 মাস বাদে নেক্সট মান্থে আমি আর অনুজা ম্যাম শুনবো যে তোমাদের চেঞ্জেস কি হয়েছে, তোমাদের জার কতদিনে রিফিল হচ্ছে। ঠিক আছে, একটা স্ট্যান্ডার্ড সাইজের জার নেবে, নিয়ে বলবে যে কতদিনে তোমার জারটা রিফিল হলো। ইউ ক্যান কন্ট্রোল ইয়োরসেলফ অ্যাকর্ডিংলি।
এক্সকিউজ মি মিস, আমি একটা অনেকদিন আগেকার পুরনো ক্যালেন্ডার দিয়ে একটা ব্যাগ বানিয়েছি, আমি কি দেখাবো?
দেখাও।
হ্যাঁ, সো এখন আমরা after knowing all these things, তোমাদের কি clear হয়েছে? আর is it clear to you different, মানে what are the different kind of plastic pollution আছে, what we can recycle, what we should recycle, what we should do? You have understood it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Adrija, you had a lot of questions. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So this is something that I had requested also, that if you, well, আমরা নিজেরাই করে থাকি, তোমরা নিজেরাও করে থাকো, that you reuse different kind of things, right? You do not really for craft, for keeping things, for making piggy banks, for making calendar, decorative items. So if you have done something, that will also give us idea like what we can do without throwing those bottles, throwing those containers, what we can, how you can reuse. At home only we can reuse many things. So smaller children who are in class 3, 4, 5, I requested them that if you are doing such kind of crafts, to show us and keep doing it. Don't throw things like that in the dustbin. That will also keep your inner like artist alive. You'll have the ability to think that what you can do.
You will be much more creative. Again, we do not need to buy so many things. Whatever the things are there at our home, these we call as a waste, which is not needed for that purpose. But whenever we are repurposing, so that is a resource for different thing. So we are resourcing
giving gifts to many people, but sometimes we are buying gifts which are handmade. So instead of buying gifts handmade, you can try to make your own way handmade things at home, made up of those reusable plastics which you otherwise throw, or maybe containers, cartons, or something which we do not need to. So everything that goes into the trash will eventually go for recycling or into the dump here. So you are actually creating more and more in that dump or trash. So instead of throwing everything, think about how you can reuse it, so that you can, if you want to gift, your friends will appreciate. If you are making handmade things, and if you say that, see, I'm giving you this because I have made these things, I do not want to throw the things, I have recycled this material and I am making the gift for you from this recycled material, that person will also be happy if you explain to him or her that what you're doing is spending a lot of time thinking about how to gift that person on that special day. So that involves more thought, more interest in doing things, rather than going to a shop and buying a gift, right? That is, of course, that you will do, but along with that, make something give something which is handmade. So that will be much more thoughtful, much more creative. That will be much more creative also. Like we often use a wrapper. Of course, the wrapper is very much like glittery, and looks much better, but that's also made up of thin plastic. So instead of wrapping with the wrapper from the store, you can use a newspaper also. Decorative newspaper. Sometimes nowadays using the brown paper newspaper also, what people do, wrap things. Then if you are gifting that book or something, you can explain that I have not actually bought wrapper from the store because from the wrapper is made up of plastic. Instead, I have chosen to wrap with a recyclable like newspaper. So, and that person will be much more happy to know your thought. So that's something that you can make a change in your day-to-day life. When you're gifting something, when you're doing something, these things should be included in your life. So that, yes, Ajahi, you want to show something? So let's, without more words, actually we have discussed today. I think like all of you are quite smart enough and you are really thoughtful about it for making change to the environment. We will do, when we meet in person, we'll do like a physical activity where we will do something about like plastic free environment. We will think about a project like that. But smaller children like Adrija, Ishani, they also wanted to show actually what they are doing for recycling things and how they are doing making crafts out of those plastic bottles or something. So who else? Oh, Ishani wanted to show something. Let's start with Ishani. Ishani, Dhanishta, you wanted to show something. Ishani, you're here?
Yes, can you see?
Yes, so can you explain what you have done?
Yes, miss. Miss, in this right side vase, with the flowers, this one I have done with the Spanish bottle. I reused it as, I have sharpened the crayons and I have just put it with the glues. And this I have done with the bottle of lychee drinks.
Wow.
And then here I have made a bag with old calendar. As suited and I made it.
Okay, very good. And this is this year's calendar?
No, miss, it's not this year's, but it's many years ago.
Very good. Thank you, Ishani.
Ma'am,
So you love doing crafts?
Ma'am.
Who is that?
Ma'am.
Yes, who are you? Your name is with your father's name. Can you say your name, please?
Ma'am, Dhanishta Mitra.
Dhanishta. Okay, you have changed your name again. তুমি তোমার নামটা আবার চেঞ্জ করে দিয়েছো? আচ্ছা বলো।
আমি একটা সাবানের বাক্স দিয়ে একটা পিগি ব্যাংক বানিয়েছি, দেখাবো?
হ্যাঁ দেখাও না দেখি। Your videoটা on করো ধনিষ্ঠা, otherwise we cannot see.
Video is on.
But we cannot see you. তোমাকে দেখা যাচ্ছে না, তোমার ভিডিও অন আছে কিন্তু তোমাকে দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
আমি অফ করে ঢুকছি।
আচ্ছা, আর কে কে whoever wants to show something? হ্যাঁ বলো।
Ma'am, I have recycled.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So explain what is that?
So
and how can you make that also?
This is from moose dessert, and we have planted a plant in it. This is the medicine
bottle.
Medicine bottle, and this is a fruit cover.
Yeah, that is styrofoam. That is a plastic styrofoam.
Yes.
the fruit cover that you have. And if you throw that, let's say like someone throws that plastic styrofoam outside, that is non-recyclable. So it goes into the trash, but non-recyclable, so we cannot be recycled. It has to be made into like chunks, and then it's kept somewhere so that it is used for something else. But you have done very good thing that you have used those styrofoam. So whoever is buying this kind of fruits, they have this styrofoam for decoration. It doesn't have any purpose, but just to decorate.
Yes, it is unnecessarily. This is called the advertisement and packaging. That these little ones, our little students, they must understand that these are the kind of advertisement. They try to attract you for the buying these things. So along with some organic material, that is a fruit, you are unnecessarily buying this cover, which is coming as a free. Nothing is free, and it is harmful for the environment altogether.
Right, exactly.
I have joined. Ma'am, can I show also?
Yes, everyone will be able to show. So Arjahi, are you done?
Arjahi, show the third one. Explain the third one.
This is a small plastic bottle. And this
fruit juice. It came with a fruit juice. And the lower part is?
It's from a cake.
Very good. Because we instead of buying those planters, we can make our own planters from the things that we buy. Right. So we do not need to buy separate planters. For small plants, we can have the things that we use every day, those juice bottles, those containers that Arjahi showed, and even Ishani showed for decorating, maybe shampoo bottle, maybe the jars where the washing liquid has come. We can somehow reuse it, paint it. It's not that you have to paint like Picasso. So anything what you paint, what you do, it will look good. So we can do that, and it is a very good idea. Thank you, Arjahi, for showing. So from now on, all of you will try not to buy a separate planter, but if you want to plant small plants, you can use whatever you have in your home. Keep that and maybe think about it how you can reuse later.
Ma'am.
Yes.
My video is not working.
হ্যাঁ তোমার ভিডিওটা তো দেখা যাচ্ছে না ধনিষ্ঠা তুমি যে দেখাবে why don't you send the picture to the group তুমি যেটা করেছো তুমি সেইটা পিকচারটা গ্রুপে দিয়ে দাও
ওকে ম্যাম
আমি ওটাকে শেয়ার করে যদি পারি আমি শেয়ার করে সবাইকে দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছি ওকে
Ma'am, can I show my plan? I will send this now.
Yes, you can send it now.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Dhanishta. So anyone else? Dimira wanted to show something, and Adrija wanted to show.
Ma'am, I want to show my plan that I made with the plastic. The downside is actually covered with a.
Okay, let me pin you so that I can see you. Wow, what is this? What did you do?
We actually made this. My mother and I made this. This is actually a periwinkle plant, and the down and the up part is made of plastics, and we covered it with a clay, and this is like a tribal place.
Okay, so it's a plastic bottle that you have converted for as like a planter, right?
Yes, ma'am. This is the cell watering part.
Very good. Thank you. So this is something that we were discussing that.
Yeah, there is a rope that can transform the water from the down.
Okay, very good. That you don't have to buy a planter. You can actually reuse the things that you do buy from different places. And instead of throwing it, you can convert it into like a planter or something for a container. Thank you, Adrija.
Yes, ma'am. This was for my school project.
That was your school project? Yes. So in schools also, they now promote a lot for recycling. So how you are recycling things at home does really matter. Out of sofa.
This is actually periwinkle transfer because it's
Ma'am, can I show?
Yes. So Dimira, you wanted to show?
I made this before the meeting. The plastic, like this paint doesn't stick to it because I'm using like the poster paints and it uses a lot of water. So I did it with paper. It doesn't look like that good because the paper.
What is this? What you have made?
It's just a container, like you can put anything in it. I have a lot of things on my desk, so I keep many containers here. And I like to paint on them just, for it to look nice.
Show again.
Usually I just make it with
so you have painted a plastic container and you keep things in that, right?
Usually I make it with cardboard because the paint sticks to it better. Mama, I made these. Mama, and this one. And this one. I'm still working on this one.
Beautiful organizers, okay? So you have made beautiful organizers. And
so
you can keep your desk.
You managed
you
to
have
put all
different
our things in this.
Okay.
And all of my
so anyone have any idea, like when your this plastic, not crayons, like the sketch pens, sketch pens, they lose color. I mean, you cannot use it anymore. What to do with that? Do you throw it or do you anything with that?
There are also refillable, like you can refill it with ink.
But that's a different thing. Let's say, like, if I am using something, those sketch pens which you cannot refill, once it's done, do you throw them away or do you do anything to recycle it? Do you make any craft? So think about it. This is something maybe you can show us. Think about it, what you do with the used sketch pens. That because you're students, of course, you use a lot of coloring. You have to do a lot of coloring, right? For your school projects and so on. Yeah.
Only with the sketch pens and the pens, I just wrap it around with a color and put something over it so it will make beautiful and hang it over there so it can look like a decoration.
So can we make something out of it? Can we make maybe a wind charm out of like those sketch pens? So can you design something when you have used up sketch pens? Used up pens, what to do with that? How
I mainly use them with the hanging.
Okay, this is something, maybe a project that we are giving you. Maybe 1 month from now, collect all your pens or collect all your sketch pens, markers. Markers
are done. Markers and pens in my house, so I can make thousands and thousands.
Yes, exactly. So show us what to do with that, because that is also something as a student you use a lot. And you throw, whichever is not working, you might be throwing out. But instead of throwing away, show us something what you can do with those. So maybe yeah.
Ma'am, I got an idea that we can make a hanging like that and also decorate the books with it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have ideas, if you have things to show, maybe 1 month from now, we will do a physical meet where we will do a exhibition of the recycled goods. Okay, and recycled by our Vijnanika Shakti Science Club children, where you can show that how to recycle the things that you use in day-to-day lives. As a student, you are using a lot of sketch pens, how to recycle them to make a decorative item from the recycled goods. Not only paper, not only cardboard, not only container, but a project like using those sketch pens, non-refillable sketch pens. Those which are refillable, you are refilling it, but I doubt you are refilling it maybe After you see that the color is not coming out of sketch pen, your mother is bringing you another set, or father is bringing you another set of sketch pens, right? So what about those ones which are done, which do not have any color in that? So we can do like a project on that, and you can show us, like we can probably have an exhibition of your recycled goods, things made up of your recycled goods, where we can invite people to see what you have made from the recycled sketch pens. Okay, so that's a project maybe you can think about, and in 1 month, or take your time, 1.5 months, collect all the ones which are not working and show us what you can do. It can be a wind chime. You can make a wind chime. You can make a container. You can wrap around a container, stick with the Fevicol and do something. Or you can crush it. Crushing probably is very difficult, but you can make it in some different way. You can cut it into small pieces. You can try to make something or some way how to recycle those sketch pens. So that could be your project. Okay. হ্যাঁ ধনিষ্ঠা বলো, আমি তোমারটা পেয়েছি, দাঁড়াও আমি একটুখানি তোমারটা।
Can I say something?
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, can I make Barbie accessories?
What you want to make?
Barbie accessories.
You can make anything. If you want to play with that, it is fine. You play with that.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, these markers are like...
Okay, let me show you. Can you see what Dhanishta has made? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is that? You have cut the bottle and you have painted it, and you are using it for, are you using it for something?
She told it was a piggy bank.
No, not this one is a piggy bank. Dhanishta, Dhanishta?
Ma'am, এটা আমি পাখির জল খাবার জন্য করেছি।
পাখির জল খাবার জন্য করেছে? পাখি তো এখানে এসে জল খেতে গেলে সাইডে বসতে হবে, তাহলে তার বসার একটা জায়গা করতে হবে।
ঝুলিয়ে দেব।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা, that is something that you have done, right? And at a piggy bank টা তুমি একটা সোপের মাথাটা কেটে you have done a piggy bank, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Soap box এর মাথাটা কেটে you have cut it up and made a square out of it to make a piggy bank. I can show that.
Ma'am, I have not completed it.
Okay, so this is the one.
Decorate it.
How to decorate it?
No, ma'am, I will decorate it.
No, you didn't decorate it. So yeah, so next time show that how after decoration. So paint it, or you can decorate it with, we can make a collage or do something. কোনো ভাবে এটাকে ডেকোরেট করে সেটাকে দেখাতে পারো। You can send the picture in the group.
Miss, আমি ঈশ্বরী বলছি, মিস আমি অনেকদিন আগে একটা করেছিলাম, আমি কি দেখাতে পারি? একটু ধুলো পড়ে গেছে শুধু।
আচ্ছা, দেখাও। What is that?
মিস পিগি ব্যাংকে করেছিলাম আমি, মানে এটিএম, মানে সরি পিগি ব্যাংক না, একটা এটিএম করেছিলাম আমি একটা, ওপর দিয়ে টাকা মানে তোলাও যাবে আর টাকা জমা করা যাবে।
Okay, very good. So small crafts made up of these things, instead of throwing, you can make different kind of accessories. কিছু না কিছু তুমি দেখাতে পারবে, তাই তো? So this is something what we want you to do. So think about what you've done. Don't have to be as perfectly made, but anything that you can think about making, you can do it. So that is called recycling, where you're recycling different kind of boxes, recycling different kind of containers to make something or the other which you're using it, or even for decoration. Okay, so that can be done. I can see Audrija, your paper fan.
Yes, ma'am, I made it with wasting papers.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Made up of question papers.
No, wasting papers.
Wasting papers. Okay. Okay, very good, Adrija. Thank you very much. And so I guess like today we have seen a lot of craft ideas from all of you, and who are actually doing a lot of recycling, reusing, and not only using the paper but also with the plastics, as Adrija has shown, as Ajahi has shown, as Dimira has shown, that different kind of plastic containers আমরা যা যা কিনি সেগুলো আমরা we can decorate, we can keep things, we can gift other people by decorating. And if that it doesn't look good, it's only you are thinking it like that. Maybe if you explain that person that what you are gifting is handmade, and that actually bears a significant like step for reducing environmental pollution, I think that person definitely will like your idea. Okay, so whenever next time you're gifting someone something, gift him or her something from the store, definitely, but also add something with it which is handmade, which is recycled. You can wrap the gift with a newspaper, or if you have newspaper, or you make something, give that person something which tells that person that now it's time to do recycling. Okay, instead of just going and buying from the shop, which is very beautiful probably looking, but that doesn't bear much significance, much idea. You're just choosing and buying it. But if you're doing something handmade, that has a lot of importance, that tells that person that you are thinking about that person much more. So it is something from, I think, like it should be used for each and everyone. You are gifting a card to your friend, make it by yourself, make the card yourself. Okay, don't go and buy. You can make the card yourself by using different kind of things. So one project, as I've already given you, so maybe 1 month from now, show me what you can do with the used sketch pens, how you are recycling it, how you are making different crafts out of it. Think about the ideas. Then maybe in future, we will do like an exhibition from the recycled goods and recycled craft made by our Vijnanika Shakti's children. Okay. So, yes, who is that? Dhanishta.
Yes, ma'am.
Bolo.
ম্যাম আমি একটা পেপার দিয়ে কালার্ড পেপার দিয়ে মা আর বাবার জন্য হ্যাপি বার্থডে কার্ড বানিয়েছি।
আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, এগুলো বানাও and share it in the group so that either অন্যরাও আইডিয়া পাবে। ওকে, সো আজকে আমরা প্রোগ্রামটা শেষ করব, কালকে সবার স্কুল আছে, tomorrow each and everyone has school again. So thank you very much. Almost it is 7 o'clock. So thank you. I'd like to request Pritha ma'am, you're here to
yes,
give
today
a
we had a very good interaction. All of them, they showed us so many
if you have any to the children
presentations
on this day.
Oh, dear children, hello everyone. Rita ma'am is here.
Rita ma'am also can speak for after
Rita ma'am was there for the entire session. Rita ma'am, say something for the concluding note to the children.
Another meeting. I was in another meeting. So hello children, I have seen everything. All of you are talented and do your project very nicely. I'm sure you will avoid plastic. That I'm sure. And you will tell your friends and family to avoid plastic.
We need to make these changes in our daily life for the small things as well, so that we can make all together something very good for our environment. So
Thank
tata
you.
bye bye for today.
Tata bye bye. So next we will meet. I've already declared that there are 2 birthdays actually coming up, important birthdays. One is 18 July. হচ্ছে Kadambini Ganguly's birthday. Dr. Kadambini Ganguly, our own from our Bengal, who was a first lady doctor and one of the firsts, and Dr. Rosalind Franklin, who is the inventor of DNA. but didn't get much recognition because of many things. Whatever we have discussed also last year.
Last year also we have discussed all
this
this.
year we are clubbing these two birthdays together. One is the inventor of DNA, another a doctor. So they are very closely in their profession. So we will do the celebration, or we will remember them. It's not a celebration, but we will remember them through many different activities, which I'll announce like very soon. So for all of you to join, so please join in numbers. Today we don't have much attendance, so that is something. Tell your friends to also join, so that from the same school who are in the club. Okay.
But you can see it in Facebook, you can see it in YouTube, because we already have shared all today's program in Facebook and YouTube.
Yes. I want to show you something. Ma'am.
Yes, Adrija, show.
Yes.
And with your show, with whatever you're showing, okay. So you have a lot of pens, but we have to know what to do with those pens when they're empty. So show us next time. Okay.
I made all of this with some. I made this with some reusable teacups and this with chips.
Thank you, Adrija. Keep doing it, whatever you're doing. Say no to plastic, save the environment, and that's our motto is. So with that, we will end today's program. Okay, thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good week ahead. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice day for you.
Bye bye. So I'm ending the meeting.
And stop the live on YouTube.
Already I stopped. Oh, even also it is going.
It says live. Says live or it is not?
Live. I stopped the recording and then I'll stop. But the live